Okay, hello, welcome, welcome. So this isn't exactly the social gathering we had expected, but it's the one that we're going to do as sort of a little bit of an interim. And we're going to, again, I want to apologize for anybody who was part of the Zoom that we just did several minutes ago. We experienced what's called a Zoom bomb because there's like malicious, evil people out there who get off on creating problems for others and doing horrible things. And so the only thing I could do after I tried muting was just to end the meeting. That I literally had to kick everybody out. We're going to do it again. We're going to do it again. And this time we're going to do it by invitation. So you will have to have a password and you will have to register in advance, and that will control who can be in our room. So we're going to do it again probably next week. But I did not want to let this opportunity pass to still provide some entertainment and some information and some social connection. So I have lined up here a few ladies who are all going to be providing us with some good information to kind of help us get through some of this social distancing and quarantining. And listen, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, so grab yourself a drink anyways and watch along and enjoy. So with that, I'll also introduce myself. If you don't know who I am, my name is Lisa Bontemps, and I'm the program manager for Westwood for All Ages. So you probably got this invitation or you found out about this through our Facebook page or through one of our emails. So you presumably know who we are. And we've been doing this project to make our community more age-friendly for a little while. So it's been a few years, and we got a couple more years to go. So this is something that we want to do to help provide some connection for our older residents. I'm going to change things up a little bit. I was first going to have Jody speak a little bit, but Janet Blum is a guest that I've invited who she's a friend of mine, and she's my own personal coach and mentor. And she's got to run because she actually has an elderly mother that she needs to go buy groceries for. So I don't want to keep her too long. So I invited Janet to come here because she is a registered dietitian and helps so many people with their nutrition. And you know, one of the things that we've all experienced being quarantined is that we suddenly are faced with having to make a lot of choices about what we eat. And some of you might be doing a little bit of refrigerator surfing and maybe not making the healthiest choices. So Janet's going to talk to you about some healthy nutrition guidelines, give you some tips. And there's a website that I will share with you at the end of this as well that you can look at for some great information that Janet told me about. So Janet, do you want to go ahead and take?
Sure, I'm unmuted. So hi, everybody. Like Lisa said, I've been a registered dietitian for 35 years or more, who knows? It could be 40 by now, but I do work as a health coach, and I'm just going to share just some nutrition tips and some health tips for people that they can follow while being quarantined. And, you know, you're hearing it all over the news that this is really a good time to be focusing on our health. And I think initially, just from the shock of all of this, I think a lot of people kind of did a lot of self-soothing. And now that we're going into possibly week 3, I kind of can't keep track. It really might be a good time to, think about what we're doing and what we're putting into our bodies. And so when it comes to nutrition and eating healthy, it's very important for our immune system, always, not just now, but always. So there's a few tips that I would have. First of all, if you have a bunch of junk in the house, you're going to be more likely to eat a bunch of junk, right? So keeping it out of the house could be a good idea. I was grocery shopping the other day and saw a woman with about 6 huge bags of Cheetos. And I thought, oof, if I had that in my house, that would not be a good idea. So, you know, what you bring into your house at this point is what you're going to eat for the most part, because you're not going out socializing. So, you know, what to bring in the house? Well, it's always important to eat fruits and vegetables. You know, this time is no different. They are abundantly available in the grocery stores. You can buy fresh produce and, you know, wash your fruits and vegetables. If you don't want to get fresh produce, you know, frozen vegetables are a great choice. And I just wanted to show you a couple of things that I had in my freezer. And this happens to be just, basically green beans and riced cauliflower, both of which are vegetables. And when you look at the nutrition facts on the back, because there's no sauces or anything added to this, they both have a very low amount of sodium. Well, the green beans has 0 milligrams, and the cauliflower, for some reason, does have 200 milligrams, which is not super high. But, you want to just be careful with frozen vegetables and just check what you're buying, because sometimes they have a lot of sauces and cheeses added to it. If you want, super healthy, you're going to go with just the vegetables. And they are perfectly nutritious. When it comes to canned fruits, and oh, by the way, you can buy frozen berries too. And that's another thing you can keep in your freezer. Or frozen peaches. There's lots of frozen fruits available too. When it comes to canned fruit, I would just say be careful of the fruits that are in heavy syrups or even light syrups. You can buy the fruit that is packed in its own juices or packed in water, and you'll save yourself a lot of sugar, which isn't necessary. With vegetables, the problem with canned vegetables is they're often very high in sodium or salt. So they do sell low sodium vegetables, which still has salt, but not quite as much. So if you look for no salt added, you can decrease the sodium even more by putting the vegetables in a colander and rinsing them out. So fruits and vegetables, you want to try to aim for 5 to 7 servings a day. I would recommend trying to stay hydrated. We're not outside, we're not in the heat, so we might not think about staying hydrated. Most women should be drinking about 8 or 9 cups of water a day, 64 to 72 ounces. If you're a lot heavier than 140 pounds, you might want to even drink more. Men, a little bit more than women. And one good thing I always tell people is check the color of your urine throughout the day. And if it's yellow or darker, you need more water. If it's close to clear, you're probably well hydrated. So that's always a little way to just kind of check in. And when you're staying well hydrated and drinking water throughout the day, you will be possibly less likely to be doing unnecessary snacking, because sometimes we perceive that we're hungry and our body really is just needing some water. So, if you find that you're tending to be overeating and constantly running to the pantry or the refrigerator, try drinking some water and waiting 10 minutes and see how that works for you. Just in terms of things to keep on hand, if you do go to the grocery store, you can buy fresh poultry, keep that in your freezer. You can keep shrimp in your freezer or other prepackaged portions of raw fish. Those are all very healthy and they can stay for a long time in your freezer, and you can just take them out as needed. So it could be kind of easy to have things on hand, especially if your freezer is full, that will last you for a long time. Simple other things from the grocery store, eggs, because you can keep some hard-boiled eggs on hand, and you can always, eggs is a great source of protein, so that's good to have on hand, sometimes hard to find during during this period. Other things to keep on hand in your pantry, some nuts and nut butters, just be careful. I would recommend salt-free nuts, and just be careful about how much you're eating of that, because if you don't want to be putting on weight, nuts are healthy, but they pack in a lot of calories. But you could keep canned tuna, you could keep canned salmon, sardines, you can keep canned beans, and again, you might want to rinse them to rinse off the extra sodium. Maybe whole grain pasta, quinoa, brown rice, some jarred sauces or canned tomatoes, even boxed milk. So those might be good things to keep on hand in your pantry. And again, in the freezer, veggie burgers, maybe some whole grain buns, chicken, shrimp, frozen berries, frozen fruit, vegetables. And there you go. I mean, this is a way that you can really eat and stay healthy with quarantine or not. The thing about the quarantine is you might want to just keep extra things in your freezer because you're trying not to get to the grocery store as often.
Yeah. And Jana, one of the things that that you and I have learned as health coaches too is in terms of mindfulness and having a healthy mindset. there's some strategies that if you feel like you're tempted to overeat or to snack that you can do. Can you quickly explain that whole stop, challenge, and choose model?
Sure. So we talk about stop, challenge, and choose, and it's really just a mindfulness technique. So that when let's say you had lunch and now you're sitting on the couch and you're watching TV, and you get an urge to eat, and you rather than just going into the kitchen and grabbing something, just like stop for a moment and challenge yourself and just ask yourself a couple of questions like, wait, why am I going to eat when I just finished lunch a half an hour ago? Am I hungry? Am I bored? Am I just in the mood? And then make a choice. So the choice might be, I'm going to get something anyway, or the choice might be, you know what, I really don't need to eat right now. Stop, challenge, and choose is a technique that we use for our clients when they're looking to improve their health, and it works with what you eat and choose to eat, but it stems into so many other areas of your life when you start practicing it. So, I always say, like, if you're in traffic, let's say, and somebody cuts you off, and maybe your immediate reaction is to curse at them or, give them the finger or get pissed off or something like that. But when you're really practicing stop, challenge, and choose on a regular basis, you might just take a breath for a second and you might say, oh, maybe they were, maybe something's wrong and they didn't see me, or maybe they were on the way to the hospital because their wife was giving birth, or, you might just challenge your reaction and then choose to react differently. Stop, challenge, and choose has helped us so much in dealing with this whole crisis, because we're able to stop and challenge and ask ourselves, is this particular worrying going to solve anything, or is it just worrying that's causing me stress? And if what you're thinking about or perseverating on, or thinking and worrying and stressing about, if you can't do anything about it, you might choose to let your mind go elsewhere.
Yeah, and that's such great advice, especially with today, all the things that are going on and that we're thinking and dealing with, to be able to have that mindfulness and to be able to choose healthier thoughts and actions, and not letting that stress and anxiety and fear get the better of us.
There's just one more thing I wanted to say about frozen foods, because sometimes people want to buy frozen meals, and sometimes they can be healthy and sometimes they couldn't be not healthy. One of the things we like to look at in frozen foods is the sodium content. So I would just say a very simple way to find out if something is high in sodium is when you look at the sodium, it'll tell you how many milligrams, and then there's a percentage. You would like that to be less than 20%. So this one, called Smart Ones, has, my glasses, it has 690 milligrams of sodium for this little package, which is one serving. And maybe you don't know if 690 milligrams is a lot or not. Because if it was calcium, that wouldn't be that. It depends on what the nutrient is. But if you look at the percentage, it says 30%. So it's pretty high. So you'd like to just take a look at that number, and it gives you like a little bit of an idea without having to know about the milligrams and everything. And under 20% would be better.
And that website that you were telling me about, eatright.org?
Yes.
Right? Okay.
There's a lot of great articles on eatright.org. So it's a very reputable source. It's the source for, made by dietitians and nutritionists. So there's a lot of articles on there that are great.
Great. Well, thank you, Janet. I appreciate your taking the time to come in and give us some healthy tips. And I know you have to get off to see your mother, so give her our best.
I'm not going to see her. I'm just going to see the grocery store.
Oh, that's true. Yes, and then you got to drop it off. Quarantine. Yes.
But thanks for having me, Lisa. It's great.
So,
and I hope it'll be recorded so I could hear from everybody else.
We are recording. Yes. Take care.
Okay.
So Jody, I'm going to let you unmute yourself, or actually I can unmute you. There we go. So I'm going to turn
all right.
Jody Murphy.
Special guest here with me, my son Cooper.
Here we go. Take it away.
All right. So I am happy to get the opportunity to be here. Please don't do that. So I'm sorry the Zoom meeting didn't work as well as planned. Unfortunately, somebody had to jump in and do something inappropriate. But we're able to do this, which is great. I know Councilman Bocacci was on the Zoom call, so I know he was eager to be a part of it. And Councilwoman Collins also tried to get in, but got blocked. So I got a message from her, so she signed in a little bit late. I had spoken with the mayor and our senior advisory liaison, Councilman Montana, ahead of time, and they had conflicting meetings. There's a lot of Zoom meetings happening lately, but they are going to do their best to get on future calls. So everybody's trying to be as involved as possible. If you need information from the borough, the website is your first go-to place, westwoodnj.gov. There is a lot of useful information there, as well as links to other useful information. All of our contact information is there. If you need something and you're in Westwood, please reach out. We don't want anybody going hungry. We don't want anybody without their necessities. So if you could contact the borough, you can email me, jmurphy@westwoodnj.gov. All of the governing body, our email addresses are listed on the website. So feel free to reach out to any one of us. We are checking our emails and working around the clock to make sure we're reaching everybody who needs something. That being said, I used to be an instructor for Westwood's Forever Young program. That's the 55 and up program through the rec center. And I taught a strength and conditioning class for them. And now that we're all spending so much time at home, we are snacking. That's something that was just discussed in the prior segment. But the other thing we're doing is we're sitting around a lot, and sometimes in the same pajamas we've been wearing for 3 days. So one, get out of those pajamas, wash them, get dressed every day. It's just gonna make you feel better. Get out of those pajamas, shower, get dressed, you're gonna feel better. But then the other thing to do is to make sure you're moving your body. You don't want to be sitting all day. You want to be getting up throughout the day. Even if you're just walking around the house, anything you can do to be active is going to make you feel better, and it's going to be good for your body because your body does want to move. Now, a lot of us during this time, we find ourselves sitting there on our phones. We're scrolling through Facebook. We're checking emails. We're spending a lot of time with our head down like this, which is causing us to have neck pain and upper back pain. So one of the things you can do is stand with your back to a wall and do snow angels. So just like you did as a kid, laying on the ground, lean back into that wall, bring those arms up and down. This is gonna help with those muscles. You're gonna strengthen the muscles, you're gonna loosen everything up, you're gonna make all of that feel better. So that's going to be something that you can do that's going to help with that. And you should probably do that a few times a day anyway if you're spending a lot of time looking down, even if you're reading a book, because you have that position where you're creating that curvature in your neck that isn't really healthy. The other thing you can do, if you have, everybody has a chair, so use a dining room chair, a kitchen chair. I'm going to use my equalizer bar, and you can do some simple leg abduction, adduction work, just bringing it out to the side. So if we're here, do 20 on one side, switch legs, do 20 to the other, and then go straight back, do 20, do another 20. If you don't have a chair handy, you can use the wall, and just do 3 sets, go through it periodically, just once a day, twice a day. Just try to move those legs every day. If you're comfortable doing squats, you can do those. To make it even easier, you could use the chair, sit down, stand up, sit down, stand up. Do that 10 or 11, 12 times, whatever you're comfortable with. Cooper works out with me every day. So, you know, for the kids, they need to get their energy out too. So if you do have kids in the house, definitely have them work out with you, because being inside, especially when it's raining out every day and we can't go anywhere, they got a lot of energy and they need to get it out. So it can become a whole family affair, everybody doing it. Most important thing, stay hydrated, keep moving, and talk to people. Call them, email them, text them, video chat them, because, please don't do that. That's another component of health, your mental health, your state of mind. You want to make sure that you're doing everything to feel good in every way, shape, or form. So physically, mentally, emotionally, stay connected to everybody. And then, like I said, if you need something, reach out. Everybody in the borough is here trying to do our best for everyone.
So those are great tips, Jody. And one of the things that also occurs to me is that it's very easy to just be sitting for long periods of time, whether it's on the sofa or for people who are working at home now, like my husband is doing, it's very easy to just stay seated at a computer for a very long time. So one of the things that I always recommend too is that force yourself to get up at least once every hour, and rather than just sitting for for hours on end. Even if you're watching TV, you can stand and walk in place while you're watching TV. Anything that allows your body to actually have some movement, because it's so easy to get stiff, right?
Oh, definitely. And that's when you start feeling aches and pains. The less you move, the more aches and pains you feel.
Yes.
And right now, if the weather's nice and you can go for a walk, that's fantastic. Or do some gardening in your yard, just do laps around your house just to get moving. Just make sure it's a safe environment, no trip and fall hazards, and, be aware of your surroundings at all times.
Excellent. Yep. Thank you. Thank you. So that's great information, and very apropos for now, because we are kind of cooped up a little bit, and I think is getting in his exercise with the bear punching
bear now, so we might be signing off.
Too funny. So
this is a boxing class now.
So I'm going to pass it over now to, I'm trying to remember what I have in my lineup. I'm going to pass it over now to Martha. Martha Urbiel, who is our director of the Westwood Public Library. Excuse me.
Hello.
Go ahead, Martha.
I actually was just writing to someone who contacted the library. So as everybody knows, the library is closed, unfortunately, closed our doors to the public during this virus, but we are still open. In fact, we've always been open 24/7 online, and we are still open 24/7 online. And we are also accessible by email. So the first thing I wanted to say is that if anybody has a question about the library, they can go to the website, which is westwoodpubliclibrary.org. And I'm going to share that. I guess I'm going to try this. It says host disabled attendee screen sharing. Can you share it? Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, so can you hear me? Okay. So here's westwoodpubliclibrary.org, and okay. Are you doing that, Lisa, or am I doing that? No, you're doing that. Okay, so westwoodpubliclibrary.org. The website, on the main page, it shows all of the, I'm sorry, because I feel like I can't hear any, you guys are all muted, I guess. Okay, so it has all the links up at the top, and the first thing I wanted to show you is the COVID-19. So that's a screen where you can click there, and that has all of the legitimate resources for finding out about what's happening about the COVID virus from the state, from the county, from the municipality. So you can go to any of those websites on the left-hand screen there, and they will take you to the official information about the virus. And then on the right-hand side is just a list of recent texts from the mayor and from the Governor Murphy regarding the virus. Also under that link of COVID-19 is about jobs. I just want to be clear. I don't, okay.
You can hear me, right?
I can hear you, but I can't.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you go back up to the top.
Yep, sorry.
Under COVID-19, again, if you put your mouse, over at the button, then it's got some information here about jobs and job-related information, because obviously that's a big issue for a lot of people. So I just wanted to point that out, that the Westwood Library is a source of information. Just like Jody pointed out, that westwoodnj.gov, it should be your starting place for finding information in regards to you and what's happening in Westwood, westwoodnj.gov, but also westwoodpubliclibrary.org. Then on the main page, again, under the about, when you're first going into it, below is like all of the links that you have access to all of the time. So for anything, for movies, for downloadable ebooks. And then a lot of vendors, a lot of publishers have put out information that you can get to or materials you can get to for free right now. So Press Reader is a source of free magazines. RB Digital is an access for magazines. Mango Languages for languages. Canopy is for films. Hoopla is for audiobooks and films. There's lots and lots of resources that you can get to for materials. And if you need any help with using any of them, you just simply email library@westwoodpubliclibrary.org, and then we will get back to you and walk you through anything. I've had a number of people contact me for their library cards. We can issue library cards if you don't have one. We can get you going and get you started with any of those resources. One of the most popular right now is Ancestry.com. That was a resource that it's right there. Oh, you can't see me pointing. It's right there. Yes, you need a password. So when you want to use Ancestry.com, you have to contact us. It says how to contact us, and we give you the password so you can have access to it. But I've had a number of people ask me for that and are using Ancestry.com at home. And then just below this list of links, and we've been adding to it all the time, it's more adult resources. If you click on more adult resources, there is a whole list of entertaining websites to go to, informational websites to go to. We're trying to put local information up. You saw that St. Andrew's live streaming is up there. So if you want to access the masses that are happening in town, we'll keep adding to this as we get more information. But there's a lot of links to virtual tours of museums and zoos. And there's also all kinds of classes that are free now that you can take. Or have always been free, but the links are here. Yale offers courses that you can take for free. There's coding classes, there's cooking schools. I mean, all of this is available for free, and the accesses are here. So I think there's a lot of information on here. And then we also just started doing online programs. So we have a new yoga class that's going to be starting pretty soon, every Wednesday at noon. As well as we have an online book group that we're starting, and there's a lot of children's programs that have been up already. So all of that's on the website and our calendar. So we're pretty busy, actually.
You really are. It's amazing how much stuff is on there. It's a fabulous resource, Martha.
Yeah.
I mean, really, when you think about it, between what is on our borough website, what's on your website, what's on our westwoodforallages.org website too, there's
right. Recreation, which you'll talk about.
Recreation, yeah. So thank you for
thank you.
I'm going to pass it over now we need a little entertainment because we've been kind of inundated with a lot of great information, but this is a social happy hour as well. And Chrissy Roberts was so gracious enough to agree to perform some songs for us. She's a beautiful singer and a songwriter, and she's got her guitar. And so she's going to be sharing with her as well, and she's unmuted. So I'm going to go ahead and click it over to you, Chrissy, so that you can get started and entertain us for a minute.
Thanks so much, Lisa. Thanks for the invitation to this. And I know this is a really great group. My mom is in the group. So I'm really happy to perform for you today. I'm gonna just try to do uplifting songs to brighten everyone's spirit, I hope. So this song, the first song is by a band called Pink Martini. And
I know them.
You do? They're fantastic.
Yeah.
I saw them live.
Oh, that'd be fun. That'd been a fun concert.
Oh, such a fun concert. But yeah, I stumbled upon this song listening to just like a Spotify playlist, and this song came on, and I'm like, I have to learn this song. So this is called Hang On Little Tomato. Can you hear the guitar okay? The sun has left and forgotten me. It's dark, I cannot see. Why does this rain pour down? I'm gonna drown in me. I don't know who. Whenever you are sad and blue, and you're feeling all alone and left behind, take a look inside you and you'll find you gotta hold on through the night, hang on, things will be alright, even when it's dark, not a bit of sparkling, seems like sunshine from above, spreading rays of sunny love, just hang on to the vine, stay on, soon you'll be divine, if you start to cry. Turn your tears to dew instead. So now I hold on to his advice. When change is hard and not so nice, if you listen to your heart the whole night through, your sunny someday will come one day soon to you.
Wow, nice.
I don't know if anybody can hear me.
Oh yes, I hear you. Thank you.
That was nicely done. I loved it. That's
Thank you
great.
so much. Yeah, I love that song.
Yeah, really, really nice.
It's a lot of fun.
That's great.
Do you want another?
Yes,
Sure.
Okay.
The rest of
So
us can mute ourselves, so.
this song, I can't find it. Okay, this is a song that's on my album called Songs on the Fire Escape. And you can find it on Spotify. And so this song is called Wandering. Don't worry, my child, the rain will ease soon. Just hope for the bright sun. In the meantime, stare at the moon. 'Cause all these clouds have somewhere else to be. Go hang your worries on the branch of a tree. The wind will blow them all away, you will see. It was a fine day to see you smile. New places to go, I tell you it had been a while. And I was born to be a witness to these lines on the road with you, traveling as long as we do. To these footprints in the sand I see now, these clouds that move shadows across the ground. When we're so blessed to be here, I don't know how. And I was wandering alone before, when I didn't know we'd come to this shore. And it's your beautiful face I adore. Don't worry, my child, the rain will ease soon. Just hope for the bright sun. In the meantime, stare at the moon. 'Cause all these clouds have somewhere else to be. Go hang your worries on the branch of a tree. The wind will blow them all away, you will see.
Wow,
That song.
that was awesome.
Thank you.
Seriously, that was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that song is that's on my most recent project called Songs on the Fire Escape. So it's online. You can listen on YouTube or Spotify or whatever. You could stream it.
Put it right on my Spotify.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
I'm going to put it on my Spotify.
Yeah.
No, that was great. I really enjoyed that.
Thanks so much.
Yeah.
It was perfect. It was like the perfect song for right now too. So.
Good. Thank you so much.
That's awesome.
I can do one more, or I could not. It's up to you.
I'm going to say, let me show my video of
Yes.
John Vitale, but
Yes.
because I think I'm going to let you end us after we do that, and after Roseanne talks a little bit about the rec center. So
Perfect.
give me one moment. I'm going to queue up Chef John. And can y'all see him?
Yes.
Hey folks, Chef John Vitale from Cafe Noah. Wanted to share one of my favorite dishes to make while we're stuck home right now. And let's face it, what more is there to do than to eat, drink, and enjoy life during this time? So what we're gonna do today is a chicken parmesan. What we have here are 2 skinned, boneless chicken breasts. Key to this whole thing is you wanna get them nice and thin. You can buy them this way. If they're not, simply pound them, but it's easier to buy them nice and thin. The first step with this is we're going to put out flour, unbleached flour. Coat it in the flour first. Second step, we're going to crack 3 eggs. Now this is all for 2 servings of 2. You can obviously double the ingredient load or triple it for however many people are in your household. And we're simply going to whisk it. Move it around so we get it all beaten perfect. Now we're going to go from flour into the eggs and coat it nicely. Get it nice and submerged. Here's our other one. Okay? And then the third step in the process is we're going to use a seasoned Italian breadcrumb. You can buy these, or most of you may have them in your pantry already, but just a typical Italian seasoned breadcrumb. We're then going to coat our chicken breast until we totally have it covered, like such. And our other one. As such. Now, quickly going to rinse my hands. Next step in our process is we're going to oil up our pan. So we're just going to use regular olive oil. And I'm going to turn my hood on real quick. Quickly coat our pan in the olive oil. Just at the base. We're going to let that get hot. Now, in the meantime, what you're going to do is you're going to get any standard crushed can of tomatoes that you can pick up, any brand. 1 can is all you're going to need to make a serving for 2. You're simply going to empty it into a small pot, just like this. What I use, I use Italian measurements. Italian measurements require no measurements at all, just a handful, a spoonful. So after you add a spoonful or a handful of the salt into the tomato sauce, I turn it on and I let it cook, usually at a very low heat over a prolonged period of time. So you start to see it boil a little bit. Then I will take any bottle of white wine and I'll just put like a dash in. All right, I'm not going to do it now, it's already in. But you just put like a nice dash in there and you're going to let that simmer and go for maybe about 10 minutes. What the wine does is it actually cuts the acidity of the tomato. So it almost tastes like a really original homemade type of a tomato sauce that you'll trick people and they'll think you spent hours making. So on to our actual chicken breasts themselves. We're going to go ahead now and place them in our fry pan. And we're going to let these kind of go for a little bit. And we're looking to get like a nice brown coloring before we flip it. Depending on your stove and depending on the heat running to it, it's not an exact timing factor. I'm cooking on a commercial oven right now in the restaurant, so this is obviously going to go a lot quicker than it will in your house. But we'll check real quick. Pull it up and look. See where we're at. And that's a perfect brown color right there. I'm going to flip it over. And on the next side, we're just going to let it coast through a little bit because we don't want to overdo it. I'm going to kill the heat now. And we're going to take these chicken breasts, and while we are in the pan currently cooking, we're going to coat them with shredded mozzarella. Any shredded mozzarella that you can find works. All right, and I like to be pretty generous with the mozzarella. Again, that's the Italian. So here we go. And what we're going to do is we're going to pop this in the oven at 350 degrees. And we're going to let that bake off. That's only going to take, because of the pan fry process, I would check it within about 7 minutes and it should be good. After 7 minutes, pull it out. Okay, so now that the 7 minutes is up on the bake time, we're going to pull it out. Look at that. Nice and brown, perfectly melted mozzarella. It'll be nice and tender. And then we're going to finish it with that nice pomodoro sauce. Now you can top this with whatever you want: parsley, pecorino romano, parmesan. That's at the liberty of yourself and what your tastes are, but this is my favorite comfort food while I'm quarantined right now. Hope you enjoyed this recipe. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you soon.
Okay, I'm really hungry now.
Yes.
My stomach was literally growling when he pulled it out of the oven.
It looks so good.
Yeah, totally
That was
delicious.
awesome. Oh my gosh. And like, the only thing I thought is, do not try this at home when he's like putting his fingers into the hot oil to
Yeah.
I actually yelled that at the screen.
Yeah, stop it.
Don't do it at home.
right? I guess if you're a chef, you're used to putting your hands in hot things and you're just used to it, but yeah, my word. So that looks so good. So thank you, Johnny and Alyssa. I appreciate that they did this for me on the fly, like very last minute. John has been cooking meals for the staff over at Holy Name Hospital and at Inglewood. In fact, they were busy after they did this, getting back to cooking for them. So it's so wonderful to see a lot of our restaurants and grocery stores really coming through and supporting the people in our hospitals who are just overwhelmed and working so hard every day. So we appreciate them so much. So shop local, and be sure that you go to Cafe Anello once they're open again, because this was just a wonderful thing that he did for us today.
Wow.
So Roseanne, I'm going to share my screen over here so that you can talk a little bit about what is happening with the rec center and some of the things that you guys have. So let me just kind of move over to your Facebook page. Is that
Okay? Can you refresh that, or is it cached?
I can refresh it.
I put a new picture up just for today.
Oh, look at that. How cute is that? The Easter Bunny.
So I'm Roseanne Trelante. I have the honor of working for Westwood for All Ages as an assistant program assistant. And then I also have another part-time gig with Westwood Recreation. And one of my awesome jobs is to keep the Facebook page and website up to date. So during this time of social physical distancing, we've come up with some great ideas of to keep people interested and interactive, and not just watching
Tiger King or whatever that is on Netflix.
I am watching it though. Sorry.
I'm not really, but I can't judge anyone else who is, because I'm watching other more questionable things. So what we've started doing is doing some virtual field trips. There's 21 counties in New Jersey, and there's a lot of great parks. State parks are really awesome, and a lot of them have educational links and video tours. And so we've been posting virtual field trips. Additionally, we've been posting some fun throwback workout videos. For instance, I don't know if you all remember Jane Fonda, and also Richard Simmons, Sweating to the Oldies. But the thing that we're really throwing a lot of energy into right now is our front door egg hunt. Unfortunately, tomorrow would have been our awesome egg hunt in Veterans Park, but we've had to postpone that for now. So we thought a great way to get everybody involved would be to have them create their own paper eggs out of whatever materials they have at home, post them on the front door, and then send us some pictures. And Lisa was showing the website there, and you could see the template. It was also emailed if you're on the recreation email list. And Martha, thank you for including it in your weekly update. I have a picture of it right here. I don't know if you can see. Yes, that's it, Lisa. Yeah. So I started getting some really awesome, wonderful kids pictures, decorating their eggs, putting them up on their doors. And tomorrow, when the egg hunt would have happened, I'll start posting an album on the Facebook page, and we'll run that all the way through next Sunday. So I hope all of you will create an egg and send me a picture so that we can put that up there too. And also next week it is spring break in Westwood, we are going to feature some spring break virtual field trips, going to those places you always wanted to go on spring break, but maybe couldn't afford. So, maybe there'll be a trip to Borneo or Hawaii. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I love this idea of virtual field trips, like this one here, the Cape May, the zoo school.
Oh, and their zoo school is really wonderful. Every day they're posting a small snippet, and then you can send them, comments about what you learned, and have little projects, and yeah, and it's a really fun zoo if you've never traveled down there.
So be sure to like this Facebook page if you haven't already. And then the other Facebook page that you want to make sure you like, if you don't already, is Westwood for All Ages. So it's at Westwood for All Ages, because that's where we're posting a lot of information that's very helpful right now during the quarantine and any upcoming programs. And it's just not really refreshing here. But
oh, Lisa, can I say one more thing about the rec Facebook page?
Absolutely.
The Westwood Recreation Department also runs a preschool, and you can see right there, our preschool teachers worked with their students to make thank yous for our essential workers in the hospitals, pharmacies, supermarkets. And it's a lovely album. The kids did such great work, and their families are really so grateful for everyone who's helping to keep us safe. So,
cool.
And they're some of the most adorable kids you've ever seen.
Oh my gosh, look at this one.
Oh, he's so cute.
What?
There's some really great shots. I love that one.
Yeah, superheroes.
Yeah.
This is awesome. Oh.
I know. Yeah. Our teachers, Natalie and Kim, really have been doing great work reaching out to the kids and the families, making sure that they're still learning and growing at home.
Now I noticed this rainbow thing in town. What's that all about? Rainbows everywhere.
Jody,
Jody's off.
Oh, she's off. Oh, okay.
Right,
So,
I'm on.
You're on. Okay.
Yeah. I was just muted.
The schools, Jody's part of the PTO at Brookside School in Westwood. And the schools were had theme days, and Celebrate Westwood also was encouraging people to, you know, spread a little sunshine, be a rainbow in a cloudy sky. So there's been a lot of postings of rainbows about town, and you can see them all over, and some of them are really big with fluffy clouds on the end. And it's a really sweet project. And there's I saw ducks when we were out on our walk today, the little paper ducks. And so that was when there were shamrocks.
There's also a bear hunt going on. So stuffed animal teddy bears are put in windows, and you go around and you look for the stuffed teddy bear in the window. So they're trying, you know, because kids can go outside and ride their bikes and walk, not with friends, but with their family members. But it's to give them something to do to make it more fun, because right now, I mean, it's kind of very regimented and routine for them. So this way it changes up their walk. So as they're going, they're like, oh wait, teddy bear, rainbow. Some of the schools even did the cardinals, and everybody would color in the cardinal and put that in their window. So it's getting interesting. Lots of creative ideas.
I got a little teddy bear I could put in the window, but I don't think anybody would come up my block, because we don't need trick-or-treaters. Nobody wants to come up to a dead-end cul-de-sac. But
well, and I know some of the parents at Brookside, they're lining up their cars every Friday morning, and they drive past the school and they cheer on the teachers, and they hold up signs as they drive by. And last Monday night we did that at the hospital. We held up signs, we cheered for them. It was fantastic. So, you know, it's ways that people feel like they're helping, because this is a tough situation where it's hard to figure out, how can I help when I physically can't be there to help, because physically you're supposed to stay home and not interact with people. So it's a very tricky thing. Cooper made 85, I think, little tiny pictures of Looney Tunes characters that we brought to Westwood House that Val let sit out for 24 hours, and then she stapled them to the bags going to the residents. Just anything everybody can do to make everybody feel better.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And Monday you're going to do another run to the hospital, right?
Yes. So same thing. Everybody's going to stay in their cars. We're going to parade them through one time, holding up the signs, honking horns, driving through, and then we're going to park off to the side. There's a section of the lot that was very empty and very much out of the way. Okay. And we can all park and hold the signs up out the window. And at 7:10, we're going to cheer for all the healthcare workers, all our healthcare heroes, and let them know how much we appreciate them, because awesome. It's, you know, it's disappointing for them to walk in there, not disappointing, but sad, you know, and every day it's a new challenge. And sometimes it's disheartening because you're not always feeling like you're winning in this battle. Mm-hmm. And hearing people cheer for you, I think it makes you feel like, all right, I might not have been able to win this one, but I'm going to keep going because it's important to everybody out there, and everybody out there believes in me.
Yeah, it's fabulous. And that's at Pascack Valley Hospital here on Old Hook Road. So if anybody wants to do that on Monday, get in your car and drive over. It sounds wonderful, wonderful thing. All right. Well, I want to turn it back over to Chrissy now at the end of our Zoom here, and she's going to sing us out with one more song, and then when we're done, we'll just say goodbye. And again, we'll try to reschedule something more public that we can control. And I'm going to work on making sure that next time we are able to do it in a safe way, and hopefully everybody will be able to join us then. So just keep an eye open for your emails and on our Facebook page for that information. So go ahead, Chrissy.
Yeah, thanks, Lisa. This has been really great and educational and inspiring. And I want to leave everyone with another song that's uplifting, that this song has kept coming into my mind during this time. It's a song that you probably haven't heard, but I hope I inspire you to listen to it more. It's by the Dixie Chicks, and it's called Easy Silence. And in this song celebrates basically whoever that person is in your life, or people who just help you kind of let the noise be out there and allow you to have that space and peace in your life. So enjoy. I might need my glasses, so I'm going to put them on.
That's okay.
just wanna hold on to the easy silence that you made for me. It's okay when there's nothing more to say to me. And the peace, the quiet you create for me, and the way you keep the world at bay for me, the way you keep the world at bay for me, the way you keep the world at bay.
Woohoo!
I love that song.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
This has been fun, and it's not exactly what we expected the first time around, but we made hay, and we still, we managed to pull it all together. So thank you guys all for coming and joining us for this. And for those of you who are watching, if there's some specific topics that you would like us to talk about in the next one, just shoot us an email at ww4allages@gmail.com. And if there's any individuals here in town that you would like to hear from, or chefs that you would like to see featured in the next one, we'll reach out to them. And in the meantime, just stay safe and stay connected. I don't like that term social distance. It's physical distance, but socially we still need to be connected. So if you haven't had a chance to, pick up the phone and call a friend, and stay connected and stay well. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.